sorry, madam. Only half a pound to a customer. That'll be 25 cents.
But couldn't you?
I'm sorry. It's share and share alike. We do have a fine margin at only 24 cents a pound.
Oh, margin. Those price controls.
Is that all you've got? Hamburger?
First class grade, only 27 cents a pound.
I don't care what it costs. I want a good steak.
It's this OPA. Take off price controls and we'll have plenty.
I don't see how it'll make the cows breed any faster.
Tom Gray had his groceries for the weekend, but he hadn't found everything he wanted. Tom was a puzzled man. The war had caused shortages, he knew that. But after all these months of peace, things ought to be better. Maybe it was these price controls. Newspapers blamed the OPA. Not only one paper, or two, but practically all of them. The radio blamed OPA.
Senator Daniel, Democrat, said today, and I quote, "If a man owns a pound of butter, he should get all he can for it."
The people were confused.
You're wrong. Oh, you're wrong. Look, it's simple. The more you produce, the more you buy. Production goes up, prices come down.
Yeah, but suppose the manufacturer doesn't let the prices come down.
He's got to.
He's got to, my foot.
All right, you wait and see.
You wait and see.
OPA is ruining the country.
OPA is saving the country.
Eliminate control.
Keep control.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Poor Tom, trying to escape from it all.
Yes, sir. Our business leaders are not afraid to call a spade. Listen, if OPA is permanently discontinued, the production of goods will mount rapidly, and through free competition, prices will quickly adjust themselves to levels that consumers are willing to pay.
Bull. Just plain bull.
My dear boy, they know what they are talking about. They are the men who run industry.
Oh, they're just a bunch of sharks.
Listen, just listen to this. The members of the National Association of Manufacturers have no intention of rocking the inflation boat, now or at any other time.
Oh, no, none at all. Just take off control, that's all. Why, brother, they'll skin us alive.
Young man, you sound just like a Red. These are the men that know what they're talking about. Hey, you're next, sir.
I got it. Where's that brother-in-law of mine?
I don't know. He should have been here half an hour ago.
It's all right, sis. It's time for dinner. I'll play for him later.
All right.
There's no doubt about it. Those fellows know what they're talking about.
Hello, dear. Where have you been? Pete's been waiting for you.
Oh, Pete, listen to this. The members of the National Association of Manufacturers have no...
pack of wolves.
But look here, Pete. They show you right here. You knock off price controls and you increase production and lower prices. It makes sense.
It's bunk, Tom. Hello, sweetie.
But listen, Pete, these are the men that can make promises.
Yeah, and break them. Okay, sweetie, let's go home. But remember, Tom, they're just giving you double talk.
could even get that car.
There you go, Tom. Dreaming again.
With promises and lies, big business won a Republican Congress. The Truman administration promptly fell into line. Together, they raced to scrap price controls. Big business ran America right into an orgy of profiteering. In 6 months, prices jumped a third.
Look. $5 for this. It costs more every day.
We need a raise.
We need low prices.
She's right, Pete. I'd rather have low prices than a raise.
Me too. But what chance have we got of low prices or getting price controls? With this Congress, none at all.
Well, we need a decent Congress, all right.
You said it. But that's at least a year away. And in the meantime, what do? Sit on our hands? Well, it's getting worse every week. And you know it.
That's true, Tom.
I don't care what you say. If wages go up, prices go up. It's a vicious circle. It's economic.
Nuts. It's company propaganda. Look, you come to the Union Hall tonight.
Now, Pete, don't start that business again.
Come on, we're giving a movie tonight on that wages and prices business. Supposed to be good.
Why don't you, Tom? It sounds interesting.
Okay.
Looks new. It is. Isn't that a honey? Looks complicated. No, baby could run it. Movies are a fine thing. Folks come out to meetings. Yeah, just take a look at that car. Yeah. Let's get a seat.
Today, people are being squeezed out of food, clothing, necessities because of rising prices. Just think back to 1939 and prices at that time. A broadcloth shirt, 88 cents. A pair of shoes, $1.95. And as for food, butter, 31 cents a pound. Chuck roast, 15 cents. Then prices started upward as big business took advantage of the war. Uncle Sam established the OPA and cracked down. In 1946, controls were removed. Prices shot up. In 18 months, they went up as much as in the whole previous 7 years. These prices mean big trouble to families, as shown by experts from the University of California, the Heller Committee, who prepared a minimum budget for a family of 4. Its standards are not very high. For example, father gets 1 overcoat every 6 years, 3 work shirts a year. For mother, 2 house dresses a year, food for a week, 9 loaves of bread, less than 2 dozen eggs, a pound and a half of butter and oleo, milk, a little over 2 quarts a day. This modest budget cost about $75 a week in January 1948. The administration considered even this budget too optimistic, so the Bureau of Labor Statistics estimated a more realistic one, a little less of everything. For vacation and savings, practically nothing. This super modest budget averaged $65 in January 1948, while at the same time, manufacturing wages were around $51 a week. It's a simple, sober fact that most people cannot live on their pay because of high prices and inflation. What's the reason for inflation? Not high prices, according to the National Association of Manufacturers, who say inexpensive ads.
Inflation comes when the flow of money into the market is greater than the flow of goods.
The NAM says that production and incomes, or goods and money, are the controlling factors in prices. If there are more goods than dollars, prices go down. If there are more dollars than goods, prices go up. Sounds reasonable, but it's only half of the story. This explanation leaves out price fixing, monopolies, speculation, market rigging. It leaves out the basic reason for today's inflation, and that is the killing of OPA. Let's analyze this inflation business. It's important. Here is production, goods. Here is the money people get for producing. During the war, half of production was military. And while civilian goods were less, money increased because of payments to soldiers, their dependents, and others. Here it is, less goods and more money. Prices should zoom according to the NAM. But they didn't, because Uncle Sam established controls. People shared the goods at reasonable cost. The money which wasn't spent went into savings. This is the picture during the war. The war ended. Army goods went back to civilians. There was less money because overtime was cut. Therefore, money and goods were more in balance. There was less reason for inflation. With OPA continuing, savings would have gone for washing machines, houses, automobiles, and refrigerators. For many years to come, we would have had prosperity, a sound, stable prosperity. Instead, government-controlled prices were replaced by business-controlled profits. Prices went up. Wages were used for food and clothing, but wages weren't enough. Savings went for food and clothing. 10 billion savings in a year. Millions of GIs were promised this. They're getting this because of big business prices. The blow of inflation upon our economic security seems like an act of nature, but it actually is the result of acts by big business, and the people are beginning to discover who is responsible for inflation. To postpone this discovery, big business is putting up a barrage of propaganda. Here are their excuses. And here are the facts against them as dug out from official government sources. Excuse number one, the farmers are to blame.
One of the principal causes for high prices is federal support of farm prices.
The Department of Agriculture finds that of the increases in food prices in the last year, the bulk went to food trusts. And Senator Aiken of Vermont underlines the facts.
It is my belief that a campaign against farmers is being indulged in to divert attention from the real profiteers in food and clothing, the speculators and commodity gamblers.
Speculators. Men like Ed Pauley, oil operator, former Democratic committeeman,
This man bought 500,000 bushels of wheat, oats, corn. He didn't finance farmers. He didn't sow the wheat. He didn't harvest it. He didn't distribute it. He didn't even eat it. He just sat on it until a hungry world paid his price. Mr. Pauly feels no moral guilt. He was quoted by the press as saying,
I dealt in everything I could make a profit in the good old American way.
What a patriot, growing rich out of people's hunger. Mr. Pauly isn't the only profiteer. Here is a government report on the profits of the food trusts. In the past year, profits increased by as much as 320%. No wonder prices are high. One of these companies, the A&P, was charged with violating the Sherman Antitrust Act. Their extra take from housewives was estimated at $21 million. The company was found guilty and fined $175,000. Cheap enough at the price. No, gentlemen of the NAM, you cannot blame farmers for the high prices. The NAM has another excuse for high prices: strikes.
High prices are due to strikes. 35 million man-days of production were lost last year.
35 million man-days. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Yet, during the same time, illness or accidents caused this much loss to production: 600 million man-days. Furthermore, in comparison to all man-days worked, strike losses are practically nothing. To be exact, 1/3 of 1% of the total 9 billion. No, gentlemen of the NAM, you cannot blame high prices on strikes. But the biggest target of the NAM propaganda is wages.
Labor costs come to 85% of expenses upon which prices are based.
So, naturally, if labor costs go up, prices go up. Simple arithmetic. Well, let's take a look at the miner for a concrete example. Miners average $65 a week for working underground, daily risking their lives, as in the Centralia disaster. 111 dead. For this kind of work, the miners got an increase of $1.20 a day. Now, let's see what happened to this increase under big business manipulation. The cost of the increase for coal produced was 40 cents per ton. For these 3 tons, the coal companies increased their prices by $4.50. 3 tons of coal make 2 tons of steel. The steel companies increased their prices on 2 tons by as much as $20. Two tons of steel are used in the average car. Auto companies increased their prices by as much as $100. Big business doesn't know how to add. It only learned the multiplication table. No wonder prices go up. Wage increases have no relation to price increases. This is true throughout industry. Here are wage increases in typical industries. Practically all are less than 5% of the price increases. And now, keeping the same scale for easy comparison, take a look at the price increases. The facts are obvious. There is no relation between wages and prices, as economic experts have known for a long time. No, gentlemen of the NAM, wage increases are not responsible for price increases. Let's see what